Bills played Bulls last week.
Yeah.
And the Bills were heavy underdogs in that.
Yeah.
And they got a draw. Apia were heavy favourites against the Uni last week.
Yeah.
Only won 2-1.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, Bills had a good performance last week. Apia were the average last week.
Okay.
So, I mean, there could be an upset.
Yeah. Fair.
But yeah, Apia still strong favourites.
Yeah. Did you do any of the Asia Cup games? Or?
No, I've been like watching them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's right. I did some Australian Championship stuff back in last year.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Is Asia Cup? Is there anything else coming up after this? Asia Cup games or?
Not really. I think it's just loads of stuff and then to do those championships again.
Nice. Are you just doing the winners or?
No, I do men's as well. I do both.
Done any good games recently? I did the UNSW list. It was like an upset because they.
I did.
Stallions.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah. I did round once United 5 UNSW 2.
Damn.
And UNSW took the lead twice. They were up 1-0.
Yeah.
And they were up 2-1.
Oh my god.
And then they just ran out of legs. Sydney, like first game of the season, the promoted team.
Yeah.
And then Sydney United just ran out of legs. It was fun. That was the airport that's going up.
Yeah. Damn. That's
It's like week 1 first came back. I guess 7 goals.
yeah. The highlights?
No, yeah, they were. They were good. The UNSW was first principal.
Yeah.
25 yards out. That's the side goes right.
Holy shit.
Against top ends.
Oh my god. I haven't gotten a single highlight. I want like a banger goal.
Round 2 of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition continues from Lambert Park. The women of the Hills have travelled from the northwest to the inner west. After facing one grand finalist last week, they face another in week 2. Meanwhile, for Apia, this is game 2 of a 4-game homestand to start 2026, looking to continue their strong start to the year, a season where, as always, they'll be expected to be in the upper echelon of teams in this competition. Round 2 action kicking off very shortly from Lambert Park. Will Constantinides here with you on commentary for this afternoon, and it's a sunny, hot, and plenty of blue skies around the inner west today. Slightly hotter conditions for football, but still in the early phase of March in the season. It means these sorts of games are expected at this time of year. And while we have a chance, let's run you through the team. You starting first with Brad Attard's Apia Leichhardt. A 2-1 win against Sydney University last week, in which they had plenty of the ball, but were made to work hard by a well-set and resolute Sydney Uni defence. His team will be hoping for more of the same in terms of possession, but when I spoke to him before the game, he said he wants them to be a bit more dynamic and create more chances and take them when they come. Just the one change for his side coming into this week. Imogen Lane drops out of the squad and is replaced by Aurelia Collins, who is making her Apia starting debut. Congrats to her, player that's been in this competition for a little while and knows what it takes to play in this league. For the rest of the 11, from top to bottom, it goes like this. In goal is number 1, Sophie Magus. Number 5 is Maya Lobo. 7 is Talia Capitanellis. 9, Ash Brodigan. 11, Ash Letter. 14 is Mia Golding. 16, Estelle Fregale. 24, Christina Kachik. 25, Aurelia Collins. And number 38, in the middle of the park, is Alyssa Rose. Meanwhile, we'll get to Hills in just a moment. Meanwhile, they're on the attack here. As Apia played out through Lobo, we'll resume some team news once we get a moment. Meanwhile, Mona Walker is in possession, bursting forward. Brodigan, check of the shoulder. Rose is in a foot race, can't quite get there ahead of Rosenberg Semazar. Here is Tamsin Buchanan now. Intercepted by Golding. Capitanellis faces forward. Finds her way through the centre of the park. Rose, an uncharacteristic error from her. She trips over the ball. Rosenberg Semazar is in with a chance, but there is Estelle Fregale doing what she does best and mopping up things in possession for Apia Leichhardt. As Apia play out, we'll take you through Alan Tassis' team. A very impressive 1-1 draw in their first NPL women's match last time out against the champions and premiers, Bulls FC Academy. His team will be hoping for a similar result, but when I spoke to him, he said that he didn't feel like they were good enough in possession and that they defended for far too much of the game for his liking. So I expect to see his side try and win the ball as they've done here. Grace Johns trying to lay it off, but that attack is broken up. Hills roll out a mostly unchanged 11. Just the one change with Maddie Iro dropping out of the squad. He's currently out with a hip injury. She actually made her New Zealand national team debut a week and a half ago. So congratulations to her, but unfortunately it's a big loss for Hills United in goal. As for the rest of their team, it's like this. Number 3 is Aisling Davidson. Number 4 is Charlotte Hogan. Number 10, Bianca Galaini. 11 is Natalie Kasha. Number 14, Ellen Rosenberg Samazar. Number 15, Tamsin Buchanan. Number 17, Olivia Sloan. Number 18, Erin Tavares. Number 25, Jessica Garrett. Number 30, Kiara O'Brien. And number 39, Grace Johns. As Apia continue to hold possession, expect to see them dominate the ball here this afternoon. Hills are a side that wants to have the possession. They want to play ball to feet, but Apia's midfield is amongst the best in the competition, so they'll be keen to have a vice grip on possession on their home turf. Lobo looking for that pass between the lines. It is broken up by Davidson. Rosenberg Semazar underneath it. Waiting for some support. It arrives in the form of Galaini. And I think Erin Tavares was offside, tracking back there for Hills United. And Hills were really under the pump in their game last week against the champions. It was a champions versus champions matchup, champions of League One against champions of the NPL. And Hills certainly gave a good account of themselves. Garrett easily plays back to her keeper. O'Brien swings it wide. Have to be some quick touches here from Hills. Brodigan picks it up in a good position for Apia. Walker, deft pass, exchange with Letta. And Walker tries, but it was wayward off the boot. Plenty of new faces, but also some familiar ones in this Hills United team. And I spoke to Alan Tassas before the game. He said that last week was certainly an adjustment. First game playing against the champions and going through preseason, you can prepare, but round one always throws up something unexpected, especially when you're a newly promoted side. He said that in training he's been relying on some of his more experienced players that have played in this competition before, the likes of Olivia Sloan, Erin Tavares, Natalie Kasha, have been particularly important to his team. And they'll certainly be important coming up against the two-time grand finalists and two-time Sapphire Cup winners, Apia. Rose feeds it down the line for Golding, who can go one-on-one here. Early delivery, looking for Letta. Sloan will clear that away for Hills. Semazar Rosenberg is up top. Kachik is coming across and almost gave it away to her. Ellen Rosenberg-Semazar, the Slovenian forward, isn't a stranger to the NPL. Previously played for Bankstown City in their final season in this competition. Then joined SD Raiders for joining Hills last season, her second year with the club this year. Fragale rides the initial challenge of Galaini. To Lobo. Lobo has given that away. Collins going in strongly. Both teams are appealing for something from the referee. Play goes on though. Referee out in the middle today is Nina Cortese, assisted by Marco Salmons and Emma Chan. Mix up in midfield between Apia. Gives away possession for Hills. Falls under Tamsin Buchanan. Of course, Tamsin, the sister of Ella Buchanan and Kaya Buchanan. Players that are well known to this competition, as Tamsin is as well. Was at the Spirit for a while before joining Hills last year. Capitan Ellis has drifted inwards to receive. He is broken up temporarily by Hills, but only as far as Fragale. And this is the sort of position that Apia will look to try and operate in. They had plenty of this sort of possession last time out against Sydney Uni. Likewise, Hills found themselves in their defensive shape against Bulls. Rose has plenty of space up ahead of her. Is looking for that killer ball, but it's well intercepted by Sloan. Alan Tassas had high praise for Olivia Sloan. When I spoke to him pre-match, he said it's great to have someone like her in the squad who's won everything there is to win in the NPL. Of course, she's a three-time champion of this competition with MacArthur and had a very productive year with the Rangers when they got promoted, and now finds herself again at a newly promoted side. So she's no stranger to leading new teams to this competition. Fragale under pressure. Capitan Ellis is marshalled by Johns. And Apia slowly starting to turn the screws in possession. Capitan Ellis is left with a bit of space on this left wing. Well driven first time ball. It's cleared away only as far as Letta. Brodigan is in the area. Is trying to find a shot for herself. And I think may have handled that ball. Ash Brodigan was at an awkward height for her. It's very interesting to see how Apia are lining up at the moment. They seem to be in this 4-2-2-2 formation. Fragale and Rose are at the base of the two, and then Walker and Capitanellis a little further forward, then Brodigan and Letta up ahead of them. So expect them to play a little narrow at times. And the fullbacks like Golding and Collins will bomb on. Of course, Apia are actually without their two usual left-back options in Lane and Jasnos. Lane is out of the squad at the moment. Jasnos serving a suspension that she got in the grand final for a straight red last year. She's actually pushed usual natural right back Mia Golding to the left side, and Aurelia Collins has come in for a starting debut on the right. Kachika's turned over possession. This is in a good position here for Hills. Buchanan. First time delivery will test Magus, and it's off the post. Very close from Hills. And Grace Johns' shot is deflected out of play. And for a brief moment, Apia were caught out at the back. Hills were able to pinch it off Kachik in a good position in the attacking third. And then Tamsin Buchanan, half shot, half cross to the back post, was not far away from creeping in past Magus. First corner of the game goes the way of Hills. It's a good delivery too, right in the 6-yard area. Everyone rises up for it. Buchanan has tried to keep that in, but it's bounced over the sideline. And so Apia can reset here. And Kachik has played that over the top. It's asking a bit much of Golding. Davidson looks to exploit the space that Golding has left behind her. Kachik will attempt to shepherd this out of play and has been successful in doing that. And so that's the trade-off that Apia will have to live with when they line up in this formation. Pulling Capitanellis a little narrower will mean that the width will have to come from Golding on this left side. Here she is in possession, Mia Golding. Looking direct over the top. Davidson and Garrett eventually work out the loose pass. And a good switch of play too. Tavares checks the shoulder. Didn't see Walker coming though. Walker turns and has space up ahead, but is immediately tracked down by Galaini, showing good speed in recovery. Good crowd in Lambert Park today. Plenty of juniors away to our right. As I mentioned, this is game 2 of 4 straight at home for Apia to start the season. Hills play forward, and they've done well to find Tamsin Buchanan. Capitanellis goes to ground cleanly. Capitanellis scored Apia's first goal of the season against her former side. Last time out against Sydney Uni. Almost a classic sort of sporting script. Buchanan can't connect with Kasha. Rose has to turn quickly. The press is coming from Hills. Fragale. They beat the first line of the press as Kasha is turned inside out by Estelle Fragale. It's very hard to press in possession is Fragale. Brodigan using her body well, drawing the foul from Jessica Garrett. And as mentioned, Hills have a couple of players that before joining them were playing NPL women's first grade football. One of those is Jessica Garrett, who before joining the Hills by way of the Mariners Academy was playing for the Northern Tigers. Made just 2 appearances in that 2023 season. As Fragale is chopped down by Kasha. Golding. You can see Apia. Plenty of numbers in the centre of the park at the moment for them. Letta just lost balance on the edge of the area. Buchanan. He's held up by Golding. That'll be an Apia throw. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Apia really focusing down this left side that has their star new signing, Talia Capitanellis, on it. Capitanellis, of course, more of a natural winger than Mona Walker is on the other side of this middle two. Rosenberg, Semazar, and Buchanan able to win it back on this right side for Hills. Lobo finds safety in Magus. Kachik dribbles her way through this time. But gives it away on the pass. Tavares. Buchanan. Numbers are arriving here for Hills. Kasha. Shot was easily enough dealt with by Magus, but it's a couple of opportunities now that the visitors have had. And they'll certainly be liking their start to this game. They've defended nowhere near as much as they did against Bulls last week, and that was the key area of improvement that Alan Tassis wanted his side to work on. Buchanan exchanging passes. Kasha again, and Magus has to parry that away. Apia concede their second corner of the game, and Brad Attard is barking out instructions from his technical area. Not happy with how his side are turning over possession in their own defensive third at the moment, making it easy for Hills to find these chances, and Hills are getting into the box when that opportunity is presented to them. Another corner from that far side, another good in-swinging delivery. Garrett unable to control her header. So about 15 minutes gone here at Lambert Park. Apia have had more of possession as expected, but it's Hills that have made things more stressful for Sophie Magus out of the two keepers. Apia play short again. Kachik. And Tamsin Buchanan has come a long way from right back. And now there's a bit of space on this left side for Mia Golding. Rose. Is tripped up by Rosenberg Semazar. Correction, that's Natalie Kasha. And just on Natalie Kasha, a new signing from the Western City Rangers, another one of the contingent they've signed from that club, along with Erin Tavares and Olivia Sloan. 16 starts last year, so was a key player at times throughout their campaign, and Alan Tassis said that Kasha had been the MVP of the preseason, had trained the house down, was looking good, and certainly brought that extra level that his side were looking for. He's long been one of the more underrated midfielders in this competition, Natalie Kasha. Kachik is in a foot race with Semazar. Down the line from Golding to Letta. Letta has eyes on that switch to Aurelia Collins, but can't find her. Galaini intercepted by Letta, who finds herself in a more deep position than perhaps she's used to, but now Apia can turn forward. Collins in possession on that side. Searching ball forward, won't find anyone. Broken up by Sloan, those two in a physical battle. Brodigan. Walker able to disrupt that pass from Kasha enough, and Semazar is in a foot race with Lobo. Apia looked to be very comfortable there, but Semazar made it a little stressful. And it's this midfield line that Apia are finding difficult to get through. They've moved the ball around the back well, but it's then transitioning further up the pitch where they found some difficulty. Walker looking for a direct option up top, but the ball was directly between Letta and Brodigan. Of course, if you're a long-time follower of this competition and you're wondering who Apia's new number 11 is, Ash Letta, that is Ash Crofts. He was married over the off-season. Sporting a new name, but that same number 11. And still Apia's captain at the top of the attack, is joined by Ash Brodigan this year. Charlotte Lancaster was her strike partner at times. Apia do prefer to play a front two. Have someone partnering Letta. Walker tries to chip it over the top. I think Letta wanted that to feet. It's sent high into the sky. Walker and Capitanellis are underneath it. The touch is loose. Capitanellis got enough of the ball, but it will stay with Hills on the throw. Johns looking down the line, but Kachik will clean that up. Semazar does well to shut down the recycling option though. Walker hoofs it up. Sloan is underneath it and has plenty of space to drive into the fullback. Was attempting to pick out a pass to Tavares. Had the right idea. I think the Apia fans are sensing that their side need a little bit of a lift in possession as they start to find their voice away to my right. Fragale is dragged back by Tavares. Capitanellis. Kachik. Golding. Threads the needle to Capitanellis, who rides the initial challenge. This is where she's good in space. Capitanellis, back post ball. A metre up ahead of Brodigan. That's much better from Apia, moving the ball forward and able to beat the defence, find Capitanellis in space on the left. Letta back to goal, waiting for some support. Tees it off for Mona Walker. That's her second shot of the game. And she lets out a bit of a smile, knowing that perhaps not her best work on that occasion. Hills find themselves down on numbers to start the season. Of course, no Monique Holder, who has injured her ACL at the start of the season, is out for the year. Certainly an important player that they would have relied on. Of course, no Maddie Ero today either. She's set for a bit of a stint on the sidelines with a hip injury. And they're still without their new signing, Paula Boza. Is certainly going to be a key figure in attack, according to Alan Tassis, but they don't have her available at the moment. They'll be hoping to get her back and really ramp up this attack. Kachik asking for options, and he finds fellow centre-back Maya Lobo. Headed out to Capitanellis. Fragale. Apia set again. Controlled possession in the attacking half. Walker fakes that pass to Capitanellis, goes central instead. Garrett sees it away for the time being. Walker turns, is immediately pressured by Kasha, and now Hills can look to spring this counter. Semazar can't get away, and Lobo clears that. It'll fall nicely here for Mia Golding. He's met with a sandwich of Hills defenders. Davidson, a bit awkward for her. It might fall nicely for Brodigan. It does for Letta. Over the top for Brodigan. She stayed inside. She hasn't. Flag is immediately up, but for a brief moment, Apia thought they had a rare chance at getting behind this Hills defence. Second ball falls for Hogan. New signing from Sydney Uni, Charlotte Hogan. Direct option is shut down and swept up by Sophie Magus. Collins. Here's Lobo. Letta takes a deflection on its way through. Apia will keep it with a throw. Apia also down on numbers a little bit. Paige Haywood is currently in a moon boot, sprained ankle that popped up in preseason. Have her out, and this is set to be her last week on the sidelines, I'm told. Meanwhile, her team are on the defensive here. Buchanan laying it off nicely. Semazar, top of the box. Angle is shut down momentarily. An inventive shot over the top by Tavares, but Magus wasn't particularly troubled. So no Paige Haywood, no Jordan Jasnos, no Imogen Lane at the moment for Apia Leichhardt. Certainly 3 defenders that would be in the conversation for starting. That's opened up more positions at the back. Rose wins it back well, but can't quite keep it. Apia might look to control it here through Walker. Golding is immediately pressured by Grace Johns. Kachik is forced all the way back here and doesn't want to play her keeper, and eventually finds her way through, but not for the first time. Hills are looking to really press the Apia central defenders. Capitanellis has stayed in and can continue driving forward. Capitanellis, big deflection on the cross. Brodigan was hoping for a sniff, but Kiara O'Brien was quick off her line. Walker, that's a fantastic piece of technical control to bring it down at the first attempt, but gave a chance for Hills to take it off her. Capitanellis gets the call to turn, immediately looks up and puts in a pinpoint pass for Ashletta. Wouldn't sit nicely though. Bouncing ball just held up on the synthetic. And Olivia Sloan was quickly back to pressure her ever so slightly. Force an awkward shot. And 25 minutes gone in this first half, and a very intriguing contest between these two. Apia are certainly the favourites, but Hills are absolutely in with a chance and have been creating a couple of opportunities on goal so far. Apia are yet to force Kiara O'Brien into meaningful action. Sophie Magus has made a couple of saves from half chances already. Capitanellis is in space in midfield. Tavares was sweeping through to take it off her. Now Buchanan can get forward with Golding having committed, but Christina Kachik is across the ground well and covers it. Kachik asking for an option up ahead. Davidson read it. Buchanan looking for this early cross in. Back post is Galaini, but just lost her footing trying to curve her run and adjust at a late moment. Collins. Check of the shoulder from Fragale, realizes she has space and sees that she has Mona Walker. Good tempo to the opening 25 minutes. Apia just trying to slow things down a little bit. So far it's been Hills that have been trying to play quicker on the counter-attack. Golding is going to win this second ball. Asking for some help ahead of her. Mona Walker. Searching for a way through this defense. Kachik. And the rotations are really what's key to this Apia team, even with their formation. Playing more of a box midfield. You'll see Mona Walker, Alyssa Rose, Talia Capitanellis really moving around. And Estelle Fragale is that one constant in the center of the pitch, that anchor in midfield, as Walker has found a good ball up ahead to Capitanellis. Still with Talia Capitanellis. Shot was blocked right on the edge of the box. Fragale. Apia fans making some noise, seeing their side in rhythm in possession. Fragale tries to dribble forward. Capitanellis early, looking for Letta. Headed away by Hills. Soft header by Lobo, really calm to bring it down, and now this is where Apia will want to really make it difficult for Hills, force them to defend for long periods of this first half. It's hot out there, and that's a good ball from Walker. Golding is in behind as Capitanellis inside her, looking for Brodigan, cleared away by Garrett. You can see Apia look best when they find space on the wings. They've got a strong extended spell in possession here. It's been a while since Hills had it in the attacking half. Rose swinging it for Collins. Brodigan is up ahead down the line. There's Jessica Garrett right on her back. Collins turns out of trouble well. Good awareness, and Apia won't be hurried. They go right to left with Walker. This will attract the attention of Tamsin Buchanan, but with Hills set deep, they'll have to sit off. And that's an uncharacteristic error from Talia Capitanellis. Kachik in strongly, and Hills are finding it hard to get through this well-set Apia team at the moment. The last 5 minutes or so have been played almost exclusively with the ball at Apia's feet. Even when they try to press players like Estelle Fragale, she has her escape act on and gets out of trouble. Golding finds herself in this position again. Another early cross in. Garrett heads it clear. Kasha underneath it this time. Semazar wins the first ball, and Magus is asked to come out, but Apia really moving the ball well. Last touch off Apia, and Talia Capitanellis. Hills will try to go quickly, whilst Apia have committed numbers forward, but Fragale again. Now Apia can go forward. Brodigan wants it up ahead. Fragale plays a safe option before Capitanellis tries. It's allowed to bounce awkwardly by Garrett. Apia feel that Brodigan was fouled in that coming together. And Brad Attard is furious with the call. It looked like it was going to be easily dealt with by Hills. And it was in an awkward position just at the top of the box where Garrett and O'Brien had two minds about it. Ash Brodigan has looked to be that direct outlet over the top, with Letta preferring to come short for the ball with her back to goal. Capitanellis searching ball, back post. This will get to Aurelia Collins. Couldn't quite wrap her foot around it enough to find someone in the box. Kasha. Kachik is strong in the air, but whether this is a foul or a potential head knock, we'll wait to be seen. I think it is going to be a foul. Half an hour gone here at Lambert Park. It's actually going to be a drop ball because of the head knock, so it wasn't a foul. Bring you some score updates around the grounds as the ball keeps moving. The Western City Rangers are up 2-0 inside 20 minutes against Spirit FC. Meanwhile, it's 0-0 between Bulls FC Academy and the MacArthur Rams, as well as 0-0 between the Gladesville Ravens and Sydney Uni. Of course, at 7 p.m. still to come is UNSW and the Western Sydney Wanderers. Walker, her and Fragale exchanging passes as this Hills defensive line gets set deeper and deeper as Apia continue moving. Mia Golding. Capitanellis shapes for that early cross, decides against it this time. Just holds it up and knows that Hills aren't in a hurry to win it back just yet, and now they make their move on the press. Kasha has pinched it off Regale, and Walker got all ball on that challenge, much to the frustration of Hills and Semazar. You can see what the intention is from Apia to play over the top as soon as they win it back. With two strikers up there, you have two more than capable players in Ash Leder and Ash Brodigan. And Apia very clinical when they get their chances. And that was the case against Sydney Uni last week. Even though they were held out defensively, weren't able to create too much, they still took their chances when they came. After the bodies hit the floor, Sloan is the one that comes away with it. Meanwhile, Tamsin Buchanan has found her way forward and has stayed onside. Tamsin Buchanan was looking to get it onto her favoured right foot before Kachik cut that out, and Buchanan has really enjoyed getting down this right side, both in defence and attack. And she made a darting run across the back line there. And Melissa Rose is pleading with the referee that there was a foul on her, which led to Apia turning the ball over. And I think referee Nina Cortese is just going to have a chat with her, try to get her to calm down a little bit. Steph Regale has come over to join the discussion. And so play will resume. Galaini is over there. Third corner of the game, and it's all been Hills from dead balls at the moment. Galaini towards the 6-yard area. It's in a good position for Garrett. And just mistimed the header. It was unmarked, really. It was Jessica Garrett. I think she was surprised that the ball was able to get to her from that position. Sloan keeps the ball moving up ahead with Kasha. This is good football from Hills. Now it's their turn to try and put Apia under a bit of pressure, but Apia will have the fresher legs with more of the ball to feet. They've also been playing in the shaded side of the pitch, which, given today's heat, certainly means a bit. Kachik. Good ball up ahead. Leder tried to leave it, but left it short. Buchanan wins the 50-50 initially with Kachik before Mona Walker comes striding through. Capitanellis again, early ball, will find its way to Brodigan, and that's a good first touch by Brodigan, who was trying to sell a bit of the contact there from Garrett. And now these early crosses that weren't finding their mark earlier are now starting to look a bit more dangerous from Apia. Johns heads it up for Buchanan, and that's a good pass in behind. Semazar tried her luck from range, but was off balance on the shot and couldn't catch it as well as she was hoping to. Semazar goes to ground there and trying to win a foul for Hills. Bulls, meanwhile, have taken the lead against the Rams. Sloan with the throw. Tavares does well to skip past. This is a good opportunity for Hills before Kachik lunging out to deny Natalie Kasha. You can see Franco Parisi in attendance over on that far side in front of the Joe Marston Pavilion. His men's team looking strong to start the season, trying to defend their champions title. Meanwhile, Capitanellis has gotten in behind and in a good position for her. Capitanellis tried her luck at the near post. And again, these channels are starting to open up for Apia. The Hills' defence is becoming more and more stretched as this first half goes on. Apia will be hoping to try and snatch a goal before the halftime break, before Hills get a bit of a recharge and reset from Alan Tassis. Rose. Ball just sat up above for Hogan. Golding checks the shoulder, knows she has a bit of space to work with and is trying to find the pass, which she does. Kachik. Golding. Kachik is asking for help. Capitanelis left it thinking she was going ahead, but it's broken up well by Grace Johns. Lobo sends that back up, and that'll be potentially nice for Brodigan. Buchanan passes behind as Capitanelis steps in. Ball bounces out of play. It'll be an Apia throw. And this will be a first half performance that Hills will certainly be happy with, despite the fact that they have given up a lot of the ball. They've created some chances. They haven't given everything up to Apia. But equally, I think Alan Tassis maybe will want his side to try and keep it for a bit longer than they have. Brodigan getting to the byline in search of a cutback. And so that'll be Apia's first corner of the game. Capitanelis will have a opportunity here. In swinging left-footed delivery to come, and Apia have crowded numbers around the usual backup keeper, Kiara O'Brien. In it comes, it's high, it's towards the back post. Mona Walker is there, it's bouncing around in the box. Apia haven't put it in just yet. The shot is away, and still it's a scramble in the box. Kachik is underneath. Apia want a foul, as bodies were diving at the ball on the floor. Kachik probably had the best look at it. Meanwhile, Walker, her cross doesn't get past Davidson, but she wins her own second ball. A very nervy moment at the back for Hills as Lobo has a crack, but was wayward and wouldn't trouble the Hills keeper. So Hills will just take their time a little bit here. Only a few minutes left in this first half, and they almost conceded a bit of a chaotic goal inside their own 6-yard area. Walker did very well to unselfishly head it back in the box, and now Capitanelis is on the charge. This is where she can cause trouble. Talia Capitanelis took two defenders to get in her way. Johns went sliding in, but it was actually the challenge of Aisling Davidson stops that shot going on target, as Capitanelis has become more and more involved as this first half has gone on. And Apia have looked more and more dangerous. Rose's chance to deliver here. Again, all those players in that 6-yard box for Apia and Hills. Apia will be hoping for another chaotic corner here. And the referee is just keeping an eye on what's happening inside the box. Apia fans sensing that this could be a good opportunity right before the break. Rose, deep delivery. Capitanelis is back there. It falls for Fragale. Lashed at the opportunity when it came. And so Hills will continue to just try and get through this first half, get to the break at the score 0-0 as the goal kick is wayward. Plenty of pressure building from the hosts at the moment. Lobo back to Collins. Kachik. He's looking for the short option. There is Fragale. Fragale. Down the line with Golding. Capitanellis makes her move and receives. She tries to back heel Capitanellis, but still does have possession. And a good ball in too. O'Brien came for it, but it was ultimately relying on her central defenders there. And a few encouraging words from Ash Leder, knowing that was a good ball in. Apia won't want this first half to end. They'll want to keep this pressure going. Brodigan. Capitanellis. That ball has crossed the line. Meanwhile, the Ravens find themselves down at home. Sydney Uni take the lead 1-0 over there. Kachik. This is a really familiar pattern of play for Apia. Breaking up these counterattacks when they come, but finding it hard to beat a set Hills at the moment. Walker turns it over, and Hills have numbers to go forward here if they want to. Semazar. Back here was just behind Tavares, which will slow down the attack and invite Apia to reclaim possession. In the 45th minute of play now, at the discretion of the referees. Of course, no fourth official on the sideline today. How much time do we have left in this first half? Kasha loses possession. Capitanellis takes over and drives forward through the heart of midfield. Has numbers flanking to her left. Walker gets the call from Fragale. Apia charge forward. One last chance perhaps before the break. Golding on the overlap. Gets past the first defender. Looking for the cross. Stays back with her though. Fragale shaping a good ball in search of Brodigan. Hills clear their lines, and Buchanan has the ball in a bit of space before Kachik. Good game sense to read where that pass was going to. Rose. Collins. Rose again. Takes matters into her own hands, Alyssa Rose. Golding disguises that pass well. Still with Rose, who's gone from one side of the pitch all the way to the other. Capitanellis, another early ball in. Leder is underneath and was sliding through. And that is Apia's best chance of the game so far. As the first half comes to a close, the score will remain 0-0. As Ash Leder at full stretch trying to get anything on that ball from Talia Capitanellis, with Kiara O'Brien having committed herself. Apia will go into the sheds with, by far, a clear majority in possession. But Hills have been difficult to break down. Brad Outside will take a lot of comfort knowing his side have looked better and more dangerous as the half has gone on. But halftime here at Lambert Park, scores are locked at 0-0. I've been Will Constantinides. We'll see you back soon on the other side of this short break.
half time though.
Welcome back to the second half of football here at Lambert Park, where the score is locked. Apia Leichhardt 0, Hills United 0. Apia had, as expected, a clear majority in possession in the first half. They were able to create more and more chances as the half went on, but Hills were able to get to the break with the scores locked as we started. Meanwhile, for Hills, they showed a couple of flurries on the counter-attack and showed that they could be a chance at trying to jag a goal back against Apia, but they'll be hoping to try and claim a bit more in possession and make things a little easier on themselves in this second half. We'll keep an eye on any changes as they develop for you, and we might just take this moment to run you through both benches. For Apia Leichhardt, they have on the bench Daniela Mandile, Estella Cameron, Lexi Modena, and Claudia Lacalandra, as well as Jacinta Golubovsky, backup keeper. As for Hills, they have Nicola Simmons, Victoria Martin, Brooke Hasty, Neve Burns, Libby Morris, Ellen Berrios, and Amy Mastop. Play is underway. Apia immediately out of the gates quickly trying to win it back, and they've claimed possession inside the Hills half. Apia at least look to be unchanged. We'll see if Hills have made any substitutions. Ball is allowed to bounce by Garrett. Half-hearted shouts of a handball, but they were only coming from the Apia bench. Headed back into a good position. Aurelia Collins has found it on the edge of the area for herself. Laying it back, and it's almost spilt by Kiara O'Brien. Brodigan put plenty of power behind that shot. And Apia start a minute into the first half with a shot on target. That'll please Brad Attard greatly. Golding looking down the line, but Davidson is there. Apia are hunting for the second ball. Walker comes away with it before Kasha has more meaningful control. Galaini sends Sloan on a bombing run up ahead. Olivia Sloan. Smart pass down the line for Kasha. Galaini is tripped up by Estelle Fragale. And a cheap foul given away by the Apia midfielder means that Hills are in a good position here. And ball is in, and it'll be easily taken by Sophie Magus. Fragale. Sloan has time to intercept as Fragale heads that up for Rose. Later for Collins, and Apia can recycle around the back here with Lobo. Letta turns and plays into Jessica Garrett. Probably one of the busier players on the pitch was Jessica Garrett in that first half. Had a half chance on the header from one of Hill's three corners in that first 45. As Kachik sees Golding open in space and puts it up for her, but flag is up for offside. Hills have, through 1.5 games of football so far to start their life in NPL, have given a really good account of themselves, as Natalie Kasher is going to be booked. I think that's for accumulation. She had a couple of fouls in that first half. And Hills have given a pretty decent account of themselves in their start to life in the NPL. I was speaking to Brad Attard about his thoughts on what Hills have put together over their first game. He said that he feels that if healthy, they could potentially be a side that challenges for the top 4, which we saw last year with the Western City Rangers. A couple of players in this Hills team will know a little bit about that. It's not exactly unheard of for promoted teams to come in and have immediate success. Even UNSW in their second season since being promoted made the finals. Apia, not that long ago, were a newly promoted team. This is their 7th campaign in the NPL. Correction, 6th campaign in the NPL. Missed out on finals in their first season, finished just outside the top 4, but then were into the finals in their second season. Here is Captain Ellis bursting forward on the wing. Cross takes a big deflection, so Apia will get a corner. Talia Captain Ellis was really key to how Apia were able to look more and more dangerous towards the back end of that first half. And the benefit of this box midfield that Apia are playing is that it allows a lot of positional freedom to the likes of Captain Ellis, Walker, Rose, even Fragale at times, but she's the more stationary one of the midfield to allow the other 3 to play forward. It's a good delivery in from Rose. Headed back out, that'll be another corner. And what it does allow with Talia Captain Ellis is it means she can hug the sideline if she wants to, which we're more accustomed to seeing her do from her time at Sydney Uni, but it also means that she can drift inside and take over as almost a number 10. A central attacking option in midfield. Numbers again in that 6-yard box for Apia. It's a good ball in. It's spilt by O'Brien, only as far as Letta, who couldn't keep her improvised shot down. Almost had a go at it with her knee there, did Ash Letta, former NPL Women's Gold Medal winner from a couple of seasons ago and won the Golden Boot. Was second behind Sky Halmerick last year. She's been one of the most consistent strikers in this competition for a number of years, has Ash Letta. As Kachik goes charging through, but turns the ball over. Hill's able to win it back, but fresher legs, I should say, of this Apia midfield 4. And they do have that numbers advantage in midfield. Hill's playing with more of a midfield 3 compared to Apia's 4. And that numbers advantage has really shown so far in the difference in possession. From an Apia perspective, they'll be thinking it's only a matter of time before they can get one past Kiara O'Brien. Brodigan will hope this is the moment. Playing up ahead, Crofts. The flag has stayed down for Letta as she curls it around and does put it in. Apia finally get their breakthrough. And Ash Letta takes her chance when it comes. And she runs over to the fans to celebrate and thank them. A good opportunity as Hills were caught out. Brodigan saw that Letta was ahead of her. And she had to work for that strike, did Ash Letta. But ultimately able to get past the Hills defence. As Apia, straight out of the halftime break, exactly what they would have wanted to take the lead. Sloan, searching ball to get Apia back pedaling. And the Apia fans enjoyed that, seeing their fan favourite on the score sheet. As Letta makes it 2 goals in 2 games to start 2026. And when I spoke to her at Apia's season launch and asked her what the mentality was coming into this season, she said it was to keep doing the same thing she's been doing. New last name on the back, but certainly the same player. And that much is evident through 2 games of football so far. As mentioned, she hasn't really had too many major chances. She had that one glancing opportunity in the first half. Would have done really well to have scored at full stretch on the volley. But that one is something we're used to seeing put away for many, many years. And that'll be a tough one for Hills to take. They've defended so valiantly, but now they might kick into gear a bit more in attack as they look to do here. Kasha has found herself in behind. Gets an important touch to keep the ball away from Magus. Buchanan laying it off for Johns. Now it's Kasha in the box. A big deflection, but it's stayed alive with Galaini. As Rose is dragged back by Charlotte Hogan. And I think Apia feel that Hogan should have taken a booking there for that challenge. Apia want to go quickly, though, before Garrett heads away that cross. Capitanellis goes in strongly but cleanly. Shows the referee. Take this moment to update you on what's been happening around the grounds across the NPL New South Wales women's competition as Brodigan is fouled. This is a couple of fouls coming the way of Apia now. Bulls FC Academy have reversed the 1-0. Bulls FC Academy lead 2-1 over the Rams. The Rams got a goal just before the halftime break. Meanwhile, Sydney Uni are really showing their credentials with a 3-0 halftime lead over the Gladesville Ravens. The Ravens were favourites heading into that one. Meanwhile, Olympic and Manly United are locked at 0-0. Of course, we did have an upset win yesterday with the Illawarra Stingrays claiming 3 points away at North Taramara Recreational Area against the Northern Tigers. Rose. Reverse pass is well worked by Capitanellis, but just couldn't quite link up with Alyssa Rose there. Ball is back with Kachik. Now with Makers. That's a good ball to Capitanellis, who has to juggle it a little bit under pressure, but Walker has taken it away in space. Has Brodigan up ahead. But too much strength on the pass there. Steph Regale sweeping across with Grace Johns right there, but Johns just runs out of space. Of course, Grace Johns and Alyssa Rose, formerly teammates at the Football New South Wales Institute, both were actually part of the 2017 side that made it all the way to the semi-final, and long-time followers of the competition will know about that particular team as Garrett is in a foot race with Crofts and beats her there. This was a similar position that Hills found themselves in last week against Bulls. They were down 1-0, and it was an 82nd minute equaliser from Ellen Berrios, so they can take their chances when they come Hills, and chances haven't been far away from them. But just on that 2017 Institute team, it's a team that featured plenty of players that went on to be Matildas, the likes of Courtney Nevin, Princess Abini, Jada Wyman, Rachel Lowe were all in that team. Johns and Rose, a small part of that strong outfit. Here's Galaini. Lofted ball is headed away by Kachik. Down with Tavares. Tries to force her way through the midfield. Apia can think about a counter here with Fregale. Curved outside foot pass to Brodigan. Rose is up ahead in support. And Davidson denies further progress. Grace Johns and Alyssa Rose, not only were they teammates in 2017, they were teammates last year for Bulls FC Academy. Rose made the mid-season switch to Apia along with Ash Brodigan. And those two teams ultimately met in the grand final for one of the best grand finals we've seen in recent memory. Golding. Lofted ball is looking for Leto, falls for Aurelia Collins, who had to readjust, perhaps thinking that Leto was going to head that ball in. Leto is certainly more than capable in the air. And the Apia right back found herself with a chance to score on her starting debut. It's been a while since Hills tested the gloves of Sophie Magus. They did it a few times in that middle part of the first half. Collins does well to win it. Lancaster and, Rose and let her link up there. Fragale. Walker. Now with Collins. Apia moving the ball well. Collins tries to go one-on-one with Sloane. Sloane does stand her up momentarily. Forces her wide. And Sloane tries to sell the contact a little bit. The referees weren't buying it. Walker. Check of the shoulder from Fragale. See, she has space on the left, and the out is with Christina Kachik. Apia moving this Hills defence all across the pitch at the moment. And looking for that second goal, just to create a little bit of a buffer. Of course, one goal, a team is always in it. Hills can always grab something back, and they've shown they can. Collins. I think was in two minds about whether to continue her run inside or play Walker. As Fragale takes over the loose pass before being dispossessed. Tavares goes down as Capitanellis lets fly. And I think this may be a little bit of a calf cramp for Erin Tavares, and she has worked tirelessly in midfield. Her and Natalie Casher have had to do a lot of running. And so this might prompt a bit of movement on the bench. I think this is going to attract some physio attention. This may not be more than just a cramp here for Tavares. He's just testing out that left knee a little bit and seems to be in some real discomfort. And Hill's already down on numbers, as I mentioned. No Monique Holder, no Paula Boza, no Maddie Iro. And they won't want to lose one of their key starting midfielders. And this will be a chance for both teams to just reset a little bit. An hour gone here. She looks to be up all right and able to walk it off, so that's positive signs for Hills United and Erin Tavares, and actually looks like she'll be good to continue. The thumbs up is given by the physio, so no serious concern for Erin Tavares and Hills United. I think he's just going to try and stretch out that calf a little bit more. It does actually look like she will be subbed off. Or maybe he's just trying it out a little bit to see if she can get back on. It doesn't look like there's any chance of a substitution coming soon, so Hills are down to 10 for the time being. And so Tavares will re-enter the field of play with her team in the attacking third and with a throw. I wonder if Alan Tassis might sub her in any case. He gets a reciprocal thumbs up from his midfielder. Golding heads it, and Tavares might be straight into the action here. Flicking it up, it's bouncing away in the box. Apia clear only as far as Charlotte Hogan, who swung her shot wide of the goal. Apia get out of the first line of the press. Capitanellis beating players on that left side. As Brodigan up ahead is looking for the early pass. Golding is going to let this roll down nice and easy for Sophie Magus. Apia really controlling the tempo of proceedings at the moment, as they'll hope to do, but the longer this stays at 1-0, Hills will fancy themselves to find a way into the back of the net. Given away as Apia play out, this will invite pressure. Buchanan would have gotten there had it not been for the last-ditch effort of Mona Walker. Capitanellis is muscled off the ball by Johns. Kasha. Galaini is the target on the long ball. Hogan flicking it up, but that'll come down with Golding. Apia turning it over quickly for Hills. "25 minutes to go here for Apia Leichhardt to hold on to this 1-0 lead and continue their perfect start to 2026. They've come up against two teams that have been well set defensively in these first two games. And you'd expect that really. Almost every team that comes to Lambert Park this season will try and play in their shell, as Apia have a 2-on-2 on the break here. Brodigan on the far side, looking for Letta centrally. The option was certainly there. And Letta would have fancied herself to make it 2 from 2 1-on-1s. Walker sees that Fragale is in plenty of space, and now there's more pockets of the pitch that are opening up here for Apia Leichhardt. Hills being really made to work, and still no subs from either team as legs continue to tire. Lobo asks for the ball back from Collins and gets it. Brodigan had an idea of linking up with Letta. And so here comes the first sets of changes, and no surprise there from Alan Tassis and Hills, who currently trail. It's going to be Tamsin Buchanan and Grace Johns coming off in place of looks like Victoria Martin will take her place in midfield, and Brooke Hasty will slot into the centre of defence. Victoria Martin, one of the, again, new signings, experienced NPL players that Hills have brought in, another former Spirit player. Brodigan wins it back in a good position and will try and keep it, but Apia will benefit here. Try and pin Hills deep in their own half with this throw. Collins is right on the back of Galaini. Walker striding through midfield, takes it. It's with Mona Walker. Can't find that one on target. Lobo is going to step forward here and create a bit of space for Fragale to check back into. Fragale playing as a improvised centre back as Apia build out. Won well by Davidson, who's slid across to right back now. I expect her to get a little further forward. Down here with Semazar, couldn't get her feet past Kachik. Back with Davidson, deflected cross will bounce away for Martin. Edge of the area is Semazar. Was winding up for the strike. Ultimately left too much power in it. About 20 minutes to go here at Lambert Park. Letta hasn't taken off her toes, but she's won it back in a good position. Fragale tries to win it back and turns away from a couple of Hills players before running into a third in Charlotte Hogan, as Walker just seals out the defender there. Entire Lambert Park pitch now draped in shade, which will be welcome news to the players. Hills on the charge on that right side. Vic Martin has been a welcome addition in midfield since coming on. Walker driving forward. Capitanellis receives it deep and continues Walker's run up ahead. Brodigan is also there. Passes a little too far ahead of her, but that's because it took a deflection off a Hills player. So Apia will get the corner. Apia are in no immediate hurry to take this corner. They'll try and create their options. More numbers will sit around Kiara O'Brien in this Hills United goal. Alyssa Rose to deliver another. Can Apia double their advantage here? This will be a tough blow for Hills to take, with their chances in the second half having dried up. Brodigan shows short. In comes the delivery. Capitanellis is under it, as is Walker. Can't connect as well as they would have hoped, but it's come back down again with Apia. Collins sees Fragale further wide. Sloan is keeping her company up ahead. Collins. Lovely drag to take it away from her defender, and still with Aurelia Collins. Has had a good starting debut for Apia. Walker skips away from the challenge, puts a speculative ball in the area, and Kiara O'Brien had to be alert to it with Ash Letta hunting for anything loose. So far it's been a professional display by Apia. They've really dried up Hills United's opportunities. And so Hills United go to the bench for the second time for their third set of changes. It'll be a like-for-like at the top of the attack. Ellen Rosenberg-Semazar will depart in place of last week's equaliser, Ellen Berrios. And so, fresh legs for Apia to try and work with, and a player that scored an equaliser 10 minutes from now, this time last week against Bulls FC Academy. We have to wait to take this throw back. Launched down by Golding. Fragale has time and space to pick out her pass. Kachik with Barrios on her back. Apia eventually turn it over. Apia still yet to make a substitution. Hills, of course, have made 3. And you can see Brad Attard in conversations with his bench about what changes they want to go with here, because it is a crucial moment in the game. 1-0, just over 15 minutes to go. Letta is going to be flagged for offside here. Was searching for Brodigan on the cutback to the penalty spot, but I think now Brad Attard has substitution on his mind. It'll be interesting to see whether he goes for fresh legs in attack to push for that second goal, or fresh legs in midfield or defence just to keep things ticking over. Martin's header is deflected out of play right in front of the Hills bench. As mentioned, you sense that the longer things stay here for Hills, they will back themselves. The natural rhythm of the game will mean that Apia will sit back and conserve things a little bit and invite at least a chance or two from Hills before the game is done. Brodigan, bit of hip and shoulder on Charlotte Hogan. Important header by Walker, and if Brodigan was going to get there, Leder was up ahead on the counter, but Hills stifled that one. Martin, quick turn of speed if she was able to latch onto this, and she has. Unfortunately not. I thought she might have gotten there, but the flag was up from Marco Salmons on that far side. Rose goes in strongly and I think might have winded the Hills defender there, but play continues. Leder unable to beat Garrett to the ball. So it was Bianca Galaini who went down with it. She's had a hard-working game. That number 10 jersey has Galaini, and a Hills player through and through, was the first Hills women's player to reach 100 first grade appearances for the club last season during their double winning campaign in League One. Walker, so silky in possession, splitting the two defenders. They have looked very comfortable with the ball at their feet, Apia, in this sort of position with Rose. Fragale down the line with Collins. As they just knock it around between themselves here, Apia. Berrios is on the press. Apia won't be rushed though. They go back to Sophie Magus. Kachik. Long ball is cut out by Garrett, but Apia will take this throw. And so here comes that change now for Apia Leichhardt. Looks like it will be Mia Golding, who gets a big round of applause from the bench and doesn't have very far to go to get there. Looks like she has been confirmation of who the change is for just yet. And if the Apia faithful's chance or anything to go by, it's Lexi Modena. And they love seeing one of their juniors out on the pitch. She became the first Apia player last week to progress from SAP all the way through to first grade, and here she is in possession now. A good ball in, is looking for Leder. This could be two! And the substitute makes an instant impact to find the veteran. One of Apia's newest first graders to one of their longest serving to double their advantage. As Lexi Modena runs over to celebrate with Leder, and all the Apia fans exactly what they were looking for. An inspired substitution from Brad Attard. A well-placed ball in as well. Put it in the perfect spot. And Ash Leder does not miss those. As Apia make it 2-0. Meanwhile, Hills United have made a sub. Well, two subs. Bianca Galaini and Natalie Kasha have exited the field. Looks like they have been replaced by Libby Morris. We'll get confirmation of the other substitute in a moment, but Apia look in fine form for 3 points at the moment. And as soon as Lexi Modena entered the pitch, the Apia fans were up and about. And Modena's probably not too much older than a lot of the players that are cheering for her, and that's what makes it such a special moment for her, making her first grade debut last week and then backing it up with an assist this week. Meanwhile, Ashcroft continues to score. That's 3 goals in 2 games, and she could get a hat-trick here. Let her! And she was hoping for a perfect hat-trick there. That would have been. She's got one with her left, one with her right. Take something from Hills here. They've been shut out in this second half. As Apia's tight grip on possession has only become almost like a boa constrictor on the ball. Apia have been. As Davidson sends that wide for Victoria Martin. They gave a good account of themselves in the first half, Hills. But Apia just have too many threats on goal, and now they've added another one with Lexi Modena. A new youngster to watch out for at Lambert Park. Walker goes in strong and gets an initial toe to the ball, but can't quite keep it away from Libby Morris. Capitanellis, switch of play is broken up by Hasty. Now the Apia fans are really enjoying themselves in the Apia Den. Of course, they'll be back here at home next week against MacArthur Rams, looking to make it 3 wins in a row. In another game, they'll be favoured in. Apia looking to try and pick up these points at home while they can. As Alyssa Rose draws the foul from Hogan. Meanwhile, for Hills United, they are at home against the Western Sydney Wanderers next week. And that'll certainly be an interesting game between those two. Speaking of Wanderers, here is former Wanderer Talia Capitanellis. Opportunity to make it 3 here. That's a good ball in too. It's got a lot of power on it, and it's gotten right to Brodigan, who didn't know much about it, coming off her back. And Brad Attard and the Apia bench applaud Capitanellis for a very good delivery from so far out. And she is a player that can create something out of nothing. That's why she was signed by Apia. I spoke to her before the season. Capitanellis said she was hungry to get back to the A-League Women's after a stint she didn't particularly enjoy at the Wanderers, and wasn't shy in saying that. With the team that Apia have, she has plenty of running mates to go along with her, and plenty of outlets to find. Another corner of the game coming. Alyssa Rose has had plenty of practice on these. Apia were a set-piece team at times last season. Kachik was popping up with headed goals early in the season. He's yet to get one in 2026. Can they deliver a third here? Some movement from Apia. Rose looking for a driven delivery to Fragale, but it's cut out by Aaron Tavares. Leto was trying to get on the end of that bouncing ball, but it's cleared away by Hills, only as far as Modena. Sloan tracks it down and tries to get past Walker, but go out for a throw. Lobo has had a very tidy game at the back. Hasn't had to do all that much in that second half other than keeping the ball to feet. Cleared away by Magus. Up into the sky. Garrett is able to chest it underneath, but Capitanellis comes away running with it. Brodigan. Able to try and win it back here off Hills. Brodigan goes to ground in search of finding Leder. Modena smartly lets it bounce out of play. That's going to be more valuable seconds off the clock here for Apia Leichhardt. Capitanellis, good vertical leap, but almost out-jumped herself with a header. Morris, who now in midfield, slings it across to Hogan, who spreads it wide for Sloan. Sloan with an underlapping run, trying to get forward herself here, but just runs into too many Apia defenders. They just have players in the right area at the moment too, Apia. Sloan left it, but that's going to be cleaned up by Hogan. Both players are appealing for it. I'll say with Hills, they're looking for something here, try and jag a goal quickly and make it interesting, but up here I think of a double change in the waiting. So it's going to be Ash Brodigan making her way by the looks of things. She's going to be replaced by number 23, Daniela Mandile. Another one of the young Apia contingent entering the fray. And Brodigan gets a big applause. Won't pop up with a goal, but will be credited with the assist for Leder's first goal. And this new strike partnership is starting to look rather promising. Of course, Brodigan isn't new to the club, was a mid-season signing from the Bulls Academy. It was being played in a wider role last season. Former Newcastle Jet and Brisbane Roar forward. Berrios. I think Tavares wanted it to feet. Walker. Berrios was looking for the end of that. Here's Mandile. Under heavy pressure from Morris. Now Fragale. Leder around the corner pass for Collins will get there just ahead of Sloan, who had to slide to keep it away from her. This will be also Apia's first clean sheet of the season to try and improve on last season's defensive record. They were the third best team defensively last season in terms of goals conceded. As Mandile goes to ground, that's going to be Hill's throw. Into the last minute of the regular 90 here. Hills searching for a lifeline to snatch away a point. Strong header by Walker. Under it is Rose, and Mandile might get into the box here. Mandile cutting it back. Letta was not far away, and she's almost pinched it there, Letta, and has been pinged there by the referee for interfering with the keeper. And that was something rather bizarre that you don't see all that often. O'Brien with the underarm throw, and Ash Letta doing anything she can to get her first hat-trick of the season. Making a bit of a nuisance of herself in front of the keeper to try and steal it away. Garrett, intercepted by Walker, has seen a lot of passes onto her feet. That's a great pass by Walker over the top for Collins. Collins cutting it back. Garrett chests it away. Comes back down with Collins again. Mandile. Sloan shuts down that attack. Past the 90 now, at the discretion of our referees. Brad Attard has a couple of substitutes standing next to him meanwhile. Here is Victoria Martin. Mona Walker again winning the ball back, and Kachik has it back down with her. Kachik asking for options. Letta goes through the center of the park and sees the overlapping Aurelia Collins. Fragale, good link-up play, but that comes to an end. Morris. Tavares, tired pass, didn't have enough on it. Mandile is sent to chase this, has Hasty right with her. And I think those substitutions are now going to come through for Brad Attard. And so Ash Letta will exit the pitch. She was trying to go off on the far side, is told to exit on the near. And I think she's just saying that she was already across the horizontal of that side of the pitch. Meanwhile, Capitanellis will exit, and Ash Letta departs with a brace. And is going to get a big round of applause from the Apia faithful, and we'll get plenty of high fives from the juniors. Meanwhile, Claudia Lacalandra has replaced her in attack. Morris is in a hurry to get going forward, and that's going to be a booking. And is well drawn. That's on Estella Cameron, one of the youngsters coming on for Apia now. Not much time left for Hills. Ball is lofted into the box. Magus is underneath it, can only punch. It's a scramble for it, and Apia eventually get it away. Now they can think about a counter and a third maybe. Mandile is given something to chase by Walker, and that'll be full time at Lambert Park. Apia take a comprehensive victory at home in which they looked very comfortable in possession, particularly in the second half. 2 goals to Ash Letta will be the difference, as she's already up to 3 in 2 games for 2026. Meanwhile, for Hills, they ultimately found a lovely Sunday afternoon. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back next weekend for more NPL women's action.